Hey guys, this is Ian with another Pro Dota commentary, and I'm super excited for this game today.
Hello and welcome to this audio commentary done by Darkson. What's up, Dota?
Hello and welcome to another audio commentary done by Luminous.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Lazarus here, and this is another Dota game.
Hello everybody, this is Phantom, and welcome to another English Dota audio commentary.
Hey guys, this is Stalker bringing you another Pro Dota commentary.
Hello guys, this is Jack, and I am back for another Dota cast.
Hey guys, welcome to another audio commentary done by Luminous, and today I'm bringing you a exciting game between Nirvana Malaysia and Starsboba. This is WCG Asia 2010, and this is the grand final, so we will be expecting a high quality game and exciting game. And this game has been recommended by a lot of the viewers at DotaCommentaries.com, so shout out to those guys that are using our recommendation page. And every time you want to get a game recommended, just go to our recommendation page, and I did pick this game out, and let's go into some picks and pans. Right off the bat, you see some very interesting bans, especially done by Malaysia here. The first ban is actually Farion, and you might be thinking, WTF is with that Farion ban. Farion is notoriously one of Starboba's most infamous hero. I think Manga Q at light blue plays a very epic Farion. I mean, Farion, if you think about it, is a very underrated hero. He does have a global gank. Nothing as crazy as the whips though, but I mean, it's definitely a good global ganking strat. And I mean, Farion could lead into the global ganking strat I was talking about earlier. Not as common nowadays, but definitely a great ganker and a great backstabber on its own. And most of the other bans are pretty much standard. Of course, the Darkseer, the Dusa, Pugna Storm Spirit. The Earthshaker is actually a strange ban on its own, because we don't really see Earthshaker being banned nowadays all too much. And the Broodmother is pretty much a self-explanatory ban. So let's see what the Malaysia team is going to ban last. And again, this is the final round of the WCG Asia, and I mean both these teams you have seen pretty many times, and so I don't really think I require a lot of introduction, but I'll spend a second or so on talking about Starsboba. They are one of the more fun to team watch as a first pick Witch Doctor. I say first pick Witch Doctor is a very safe pick. It definitely hides your strategy very well, because Witch Doctor is a hero that could blend into almost any lineup almost perfectly. He is one of the better healer in terms of voodoo restoration. He can gank quite well with his cask, and we could see that Nirvana going back, and they will hide their strategy pretty well as well. CM and Venge, pretty standard lineup, and we see Starsboba responding some quick picks with Slaughter and Slaughter and Warlock here. And the Slaughter and Warlock is one of those heroes you don't see quite often. And what's going to go back to the point about talking about Starsboba is that they are a very refreshing team to watch. They generally don't pick what everyone else is picking. Probably if it's a Chinese team here playing, there will be a Drow being picked or something at this point. But no, they're going to go for the Slaughter and Warlock. Both very powerful heroes on its own, but just not being picked a lot nowadays. Not exactly too sure of the reason why, but I guess nowadays most teams are preferring a range carry, such as Dusa is just as a Drow Ranger instead of the Slaughter. Slaughter is still a very great hero, but because he's not range, he's just not picked very often. And also another reason why Warlock is not being picked lately is that Warlock is a solely defensive babysitter. He doesn't have very high offensive power if you put him in a lane. Imagine a Warlock Spectre lane of some sort, or a Warlock Slaughter lane. That lane is going to be purely defensive. Comparing to a hero such as CM, Line, or Venge that could go very offensively and very quickly. Warlock is just an inferior choice of a support hero because he only has that defensive capability. Meanwhile, on the Sentinel, wow, these are some quick picks. I gotta speed up on the analysis here. We do see Visage and Kunkka. Visage and Kunkka, both very common hero. The Kunkka not so much, but Visage definitely. I mean, he's only third pick, but he's probably the best hero being picked so far. And Kunkka in itself, it could make, Kunkka nowadays we see him go more ganking heavy instead of a carry, but we don't know. We don't know how the Malaysia team's gonna pick. Let's see what their last pick is. And of course, we see Starsboba here responding back with Juggernaut and Dazzle. So these are some very novelty heroes that we don't see very often, and I'm glad that this final does have Starsboba in it. This should make for a very, very exciting hero. Just from the picks alone, I'm definitely really amped up to watch this game already, and hope that you guys will enjoy this following commentary. And as we wait for the last pick here, I do have to say that these days I've been very, very busy. I'm trying to make my casting as enthusiastic as possible. So hope you guys can't tell that I'm really tired or whatnot. But I'll try my best to make my commentaries as enjoyable as they used to be. And looking at the Scourge lineup here, we do see a lot of slow, a lot of stun, and I mean, I'm not too sure how they're gonna lane it. Probably gonna run a Slaughter, Dazzle lane. That is one of the better lane here. We do have a touch, a poison touch into a sprint, into a crush, and then with a healing ward, it both heals the Slaughter and nukes the other team. So that's a very potent combo. Not many heroes could get out of that. I think so far out of all the heroes that within this pool, I think only Visage could get out of that. I'm gonna pause this game at the 6-minute mark. So if you guys are listening in the MP3, get there if you can. And I'm going to talk about the analysis in a couple of lanes as well. So the Slaughter and Dazzle lane is going to be pretty much apparent, and it's up to Sentinel to lane that with the Visage, because Visage, once he could grave chill, he could probably get out of any ganking situation. So I mean, of course, a Slithering Crush with the poison touch is a very potent combo, but grave chill is just on another level. He could just slow one and just get the heck out. So if the Sentinel does match up that lane, they should be okay. They should probably put a Venge there. That's at least how I would lane it, because the Visage does have the 600 range, so they don't really need a CM here. The CM 600 range would help the Kunkka a lot, and I would foresee a Kunkka CM on one of the other side lane. Of course, we probably will see Mushi's Destroyer mid. Mushi's been playing a very mean Destroyer. I always see him go Destroyer. Yamate goes Destroyer a lot, and I just really don't understand the reason why. I mean, intelligence late game carry is not all too strong, especially Destroyer. He is just nullified with the BKB, and of course on the Scourge lineup there aren't many BKB hero. However, the Juggernaut does have magic immunity in terms of his Blade Fury, so not too sure why they went the Destroyer here. Of course, the Destroyer is also very good in terms of isolation. Isolating a particular hero for 4 seconds is no joke. 4 seconds is all it takes for a team fight to start and end. Of course, Destroyer does have a big AoE ult, so that could do a lot of damage. Considering Slaughter and Juggernaut, and I think Warlock doesn't have a lot of high end game, so they could really bully those heroes with the high damage ult of the Destroyer here. And meanwhile on the Scourge lineup, their lane is pretty much set as well. With the Slaughter Dazzle, you're gonna be left over with the Witch Doctor and Juggernaut, so that's a very potent lane. A Cask into a Spin into a Maledict, and it's gonna be interesting to see whether they're gonna go into Maledict or a Voodoo Restoration. You might be thinking, Juggernaut's a very offensive hero, so it's better to go with Maledict. You have to also keep in mind that Juggernaut, when he spins, he's also a lot of time he's diving a lot, through creeps, through the tower. So Juggernaut is going to be taking a bit of damage, so that Voodoo Restoration wouldn't be too bad either. Both choices is also great. I mean, Maledict or Voodoo Restoration is going to be great after the cast, but it's just going to be the interesting choice to see what the Scourge player is making here. And probably we're going to see a Warlock solo mid, so this is going to be some good old Warlock solo mid. And we'll see how this takes here. So if you're not, if you guys are listening to the MP3, if you're not at the 6-minute mark, pause the MP3 and get there, because I will be starting it. I'm pausing this replay in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. All right. So let's talk about this mid solo verse lineup a little bit. And the common misconception is that while Warlock has a very high base damage, he has a great animation, at least better than the Destroyers. He does have a last ward, so he should win the lane pretty much easily, right? And to make a prediction here is I have to say, even though Ken is a very great player on Starsboba, and Mushi is no joke in himself, but I have to give the advantage to the Destroyer here. Destroyer's Astral Imprisonment, not only does he steal, not only does he steal intelligence. Keep in mind that when you're stealing intelligence, you're stealing mana and you're stealing damage, and that's a big deal. Once you're stealing 8 intelligence, you're minusing 8 damage from a Warlock, and that's could make or break a Warlock. And if he goes the Astral Prison in terms of into the Essence Aura build, he's gonna have enough mana to just keep spamming that prison, and could basically keep that Warlock in a very, very low damage aura. Don't be surprised if you see a level 7 Warlock versus a level 7 Destroyer, and that Warlock only has like 40 something damage. Meanwhile, the Destroyer probably have 80 something damage. So that Destroyer will definitely out damage the component. Also keep in mind that they do have a Crystal Maiden on their team, so that Warlock could be spamming his Astral Imprisonment all day, just all day on that Warlock. So I have to give the advantage on the to the Sentinel mid lane here. But looking at the other lanes here, we do see a Venge venturing top. I think he will definitely be in trouble here. He is gonna run. These guys are waiting in deep anticipation. There is gonna be a cask here, a couple more hit into a spin here, and I think that the Venge is trying to do whatever he can to get the kill. And did I just call this guy Ken? I'm sorry. Everyone does have the Ken tag. So is what I'm trying to say. I just read off his name, Ken. So is definitely a great solo player, man. And let's see how he's going to fare later on. Meanwhile, on the top lane, I have to give the... I'm not sure why they lane the Venge with the Kunkka here. They definitely will be very, very outranged by the Witch Doctor. And you see Witch Doctor doing a great job harassing. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we do see a Slaughter being soloed. At this point, he is being bullied because he definitely need the Dazzle here. Dazzle actually going mid to do a little bit of a ganking and backstabbing. But it looks like he did not have too much advantage here. So on the bottom lane, I have to give the advantage to the Sentinel here, because they do have a great range. I don't think the Dazzle by himself could handle the 600 range. He is a healer, so he could help out his team, his lane partner pretty well. Because they got a first blood, keep in mind the Witch Doctor got the first blood, but look at what happened. He already has bought a Observer Ward and or Sentry Ward, excuse me, and I mean, these guys know what they're doing, and I remember talking about it in my support guide. Every little bit counts, and what they're exactly doing is that. Oh, it looks like there is going to be a gank. I will talk about that, the Observer Sentry Wars later. And this is what I mean, Grave Chill into the plentiful amount of nukes and stuns with the CM. They're definitely picking up kill. Meanwhile, Manga Ken, excuse me, will pick up another kill, and they are really trading kills back and forth here. And we see that the Vengeful Sphere has put up a Observer Ward here. Similar to the Observer Ward that I placed in the Viewers versus Commentator game. If you have a very offensive line, it's definitely great to have this Observer Ward here. But I was talking about the getting the early Sentry Ward, as I spoke about in the in my guide. Every little bit counts. As you see, another initiation going on the Venge. I think the Venge is definitely will fall down here. Let's see who's gonna pick up kill. Looks like the Juggernaut has picked up the kill here. Going back to the Sentry Ward, early Sentry Ward is such a dangerous ganking tool, because I mean, if he has plucked off a ward here and there, he could really make it very, very dangerous. As we see another roaming gank coming in mid, there is a Shadow Warrior. They're gonna do whatever they can to do a lot of damage, and he is gonna really dive. He's gonna definitely gonna suicide for that kill. I think he will get it, and he definitely got it here. Even though he died to the Destroyer, died to the tower. I definitely think it's worth it, because I mean, you kill the mid solo with your warder, so that's definitely a worthy trade. But I mean, look at what the Scourge is doing. They are just putting Sentry Wars absolutely everywhere with that first blood go, and that's a little bit of a team communication and team sharing of the go, and that's definitely a good thing to learn from. And on this top lane, I mean, this is a very action-heavy game, and I have to definitely keep my eye out on the top lane. You see the two support heroes roaming very heavily in the jungle, and I think Juggernaut just got his Blade Fairy baited out. Blade Fairy does have a pretty high cooldown. It's about 30 seconds, and I think they're going to go in, but that cast is just getting everyone at this point. I think they are going to chase. Juggernaut does have boost of speed. Meanwhile, Kunkka also has boost of speed. Meanwhile, Venge does not, so I think whoever they're focusing, they should definitely focusing on the Vengeful Spirit. Definitely, it's gonna be outspeed on this point.